Broadcasting live for the 2012 Georgia Technology Summit from the beautiful Cobb Galleria Center in Atlanta, Georgia. Here are your Business Radio X hosts, Lee Cantor and Stone Payton.
So this is going to be a fun segment we have with IntelaText, Miss Andrea Bussey. Welcome to the show, Andrea.
Thanks for having me.
IntelaText, what do you guys do out in the marketplace?
IntelaText specializes in mobile engagement technologies. So instead of being tied around a particular tactic or two, we have over 23 unique and different technologies that we can compile for customer engagement.
Okay, so just name like 14 or 15.
Well, things you might expect are things like mobile apps, cloud-based apps, of course, all kinds of interactive and rich media texting. But things that you may not expect are, of course, geolocation combined with preference matching for things like sniffing, where we can tell what device you're on and best serve up the rich media that's going to come in on it. And we can do all that in over 200 languages.
And you do that so a customer has a need that they want an app and you build that for them?
Potentially, although we do find that we spend a lot of our time talking companies out of building a mobile app. They typically just need a cloud-based app or at least a hybrid that does the functionality that they want, but they don't have to bother users with downloading it to their device.
Andrea, what's the backstory?
Well, the company is a little over 9 years old, and that means we've been through quite an evolution, as you can imagine. And just looking around today here at the TAG Summit, you can see how far technology has come. And, you know, we're kind of like the grandparents in the space of mobile engagement.
At 9?
At 9, we're
grandparents.
Well, it's kind of like dog years in technology. And so the difference between where we've come from and where we are today, it really all falls down to one thing, which is hyper-personalization and micro-targeting. You know, in the past it used to be more about silos and segments, and now it's about the individual person.
And you guys are pretty good at this after 9 years. Didn't you win an award?
We did. We were named Mobile Marketer of the Year for 2011 with the Tech Marketing Awards. Thanks for remembering.
Congratulations.
All right, so how does this work on the ground? I'm a business. Let's pick an industry or a business and just walk us through a little audio case study, if you would.
Okay, sure. So I'll give you a before and after. How about that? So
sure.
Let's say 7-8 years ago, Macy's wants to reach out to you on a mobile device. Back then, they would opt you in, and obviously you would receive something that just has an SMS text that might alert you to deals. However, if you're a young single executive guy, you don't want to receive text messages about women's apparel or children's shoes. Fast forward to today, we would compile 5 or 6 different technologies such as geolocation and preference matching and historical data on you, as well as the device that you're using. And now, let's say you live in Atlanta, but you're traveling to Chicago on business. That same young single executive guy might be out, going about his business 9:30, 10 in the morning. He gets a push notification from Macy's that says, "Good morning, Jonathan. Welcome to Chicago," because it knows it's not where he's normally.
Oh, wow.
And says, "Do you know you're within 1.6 miles of a Macy's? Would you like us to use your current location and walk you door to door using the geolocation and geofencing? Because we have a 20% off mobile VIP discount for you today only to go in and buy Kenneth Cole, because that's a brand that we know historically he really loves."
Holy cow, I think I know where the Intella part comes from.
To delight both the consumer as well as the brands, of course.
Now, how do you manage the amount of contact that a client engages with its customer?
That is a great question. In the preferences, that is one of the number one things that we want to know. How do you want to be communicated to, versus, say email for certain things, text messaging for alerts, announcements, or updates. But you want to surf on your tablet for other types of things. There are different types of mobile devices, and all typically have a different place in your heart and how you utilize them. And that's what we ask of all the consumers as well as brands when we're thinking through the strategy. So hopefully you will only receive relevant, timely, and personalized information on whatever the medium is.
Now, I notice a lot of the restaurants use some sort of texting where they kind of remind you, oh, we have a special, or next time you're in the mood for a burger, come into my place. Is there any best practice you can share for restaurants that are experimenting with this? Is it better to have a monetary offer or like you positioned it earlier, a VIP offer to make it seem like you're doing this just for me? Or is it sometimes that you do it like, oh, it's raining and we're doing a special just kind of on the fly?
I would say all of the above. If you're a quick serve restaurant or fast casual, offers and coupons work really well. If you're fine dining and a luxury brand, not even in the hospitality industry, you may want to be careful about offering up deals for brand continuity. So things like elevated status or information that you can't get any other way is a really important way to utilize the channel and, again, not abuse it. People will do considerably more for favorable status than they will for a $1 off coupon often, and that's what's going to move the needle for retention as well.
Now, how are you out selling this? Are you out making calls and you're in the boardroom and you're showing this stuff off, or are they going online and getting kind of a trial experience with it? How do you go to market with this?
Well, more and more, we're starting to become kind of an outsourced mobile division for agencies and larger brands. And the reason why is because this stuff is moving so fast. So in order to really stay bleeding edge or extraordinarily new technology, you've really got to have a specialist team. And, to afford the millions of dollars and the, hundreds of human capital resources would be quite taxing on most companies, and agencies have found it's a lot more effective to bring us in as that outsourced mobile division.
Now, is it advertising agencies or PR firms?
Yes.
It's both and both?
And it's also traditional advertising and marketing agencies just as much as digital and interactive, because they all need it, and they all need to stay sexy, sophisticated, and ahead of the curve.
And do they white label your work?
Often, yeah. Sometimes, other times they want to leverage our reputation in the industry, and we're fine with it either way.
Uh-huh. But even then, there's probably a little note at the bottom that says, "Thank you, Andrea." Right? So
now, if somebody wanted to engage with you guys, do you have a website?
Of course. It's IntelaText.com, spelled IntelaText.com.
So an event like this, what's your involvement?
Well, we've got a number of folks here today, some of which I'll bring by to say hello. And then, of course, we're here just to reaffirm relationships we've had for years and then make new ones.
Any clients?
Oh, of course. Several clients in the room, clients like UPS, Coca-Cola, AT&T's here, several clients.
Cool. Well, we appreciate you coming on. The website one more time.
It's IntelaText, IntelaText.com.
Cool. This is Lee Cantor for Stone Payton. We will be back in a few.
This has been a joint production of the Technology Association of Georgia and Business Radio X. For more information about the Technology Association of Georgia, please visit tagonline.org.